Patience is key. We got to be talking about this as we see Bitcoin fluctuate around $80,000 to $88,000. We are getting a little bit of a bounce at the time of recording this video. Maybe a bounce to new all-time highs? Probably not. But would it be funny? Yeah, it would be funny, but probably not. I'm betting on that not happening, but I do expect a bounce. I've been expecting a bounce, but we're going to get into it. So without further ado, welcome back to Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel now. Anything I say in this video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, I want to start off here, and I made a little bit of a post today that I was thinking about, and I thought that I should write it out. And I said, follow me at 53 Blacksea on Twitter. And I wrote this. I said, investing and trading is a brutal journey. This cycle was the institutions / politicians finding out about Bitcoin and pushing Bitcoin on all the mainstream media platforms for the boomers / hedge funds to buy the top. It really did feel like that in hindsight, looking back on that. You had all these institutions and all these vehicles for the older generations just pushing and shilling, like Bitcoin's going to $1 million, big Ethereum's going to 100,000, all these crazy headlines. And I say, and a lot of people like, Jim Cramer, Tom Lee, all these guys, these crazy price predictions. I say, I do feel the pain for the older generations that FOMO'd into the IBITs and Masters, as well as the mining companies under the guise of this is the future and it's going to $1 million right now. And, it's funny because a lot of these older generations, they FOMO'd into the crap, the IBITs, the ETFs, the spot ETFs, and these pseudo investment vehicles of Bitcoin instead of just buying Bitcoin because they don't know any better. And it's just how it is. This game is, that's investing though. The noobs come to play, they get wrecked, and then they become the people that, the noobs become the veterans. It takes time, and if you can actually maintain and hold on for dear life, as they say, hodl, then you get to reap the rewards. And I say a lot of the older folks can't endure waiting 4 years for a recovery or a bull market after being in crypto for 10 plus years. That is learned, and the noobs get destroyed and become the veterans who understand. And it's simple as that. And that's why the premise of this video is you got to be patient. And if you can't afford to be patient, then this is not the market for you. I've been trading crypto for over a decade, and I've learned that, when it comes to crypto, there are cycles. And really investing, there's cycles. Everything is cyclical. There's always a pendulum swinging from one end to the other. Where there's hot, there's cold. Where there's up, there's down. There's always a pendulum, and you can't just go all the way one direction forever without a little bit of a swing back the other way. And usually, the farther it swings one way, the further it's going to swing back the other. And now, what does that mean? What am I trying to say? Well, it is unfortunate for people that FOMO'd in that didn't know any better, especially if they're older. But if you do have the time, if you do have the precious currency of time, then Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a fantastic vehicle for investing. Now, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you guys how I'm navigating these markets and what I am personally doing. I put my money where my mouth is. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we have wicked down all the way to $80,000, $81,000. But we are getting a little bit of a bounce here back to 88K. And on the weekly time frame, we are above 88K. When the weekly candle closure is in 19 hours and 11 minutes, if we close over 88K, I'm going to be expecting a further bounce. But that being said, I don't think that we break higher than like 100,000, right about there. Because I still, in the short term, any big bounce we get, of course there's invalidations, but any big bounce we get, I am looking to short it. I am looking to view it as a lower high, especially on like the weekly time frame. But on the daily, let's look at the daily. That was a beautiful straight line. It's really hard for me to draw these straight lines, but I'm getting better. But I will say, like on the daily time frame, we are below 88K still. Like we're trading around 86,000. But if we can get above 88K, that would, to me, be screaming we're going to get a bounce. But as of right now, guys, I am still shorting. I'm shorting over on Blowfin. I'm short altcoins. I'm short Crowcoin, Pepe, Doge, Zcash, and some other ones as well, Solana. And I do think that I've been waiting for a area to really, I did actually even add to my Crowcoin short today. You can see my little arrow up here on the chart. But I do believe that a big bounce could come, and I am prepped for that. I have my stop losses set if it gets past my invalidation zones, but I do believe that any bounce from here is probably just going to be a lower high now. So I'm just putting my money where my mouth is, guys. And if you do want to trade with me and you want access to our private Discord where Crypto Kip and I are active and we talk about our different trade setups and tell you guys how we're viewing the market in real time, feel free to check out in the pinned comment section or description box below. Sign up to Blowfin. You get a $5,000 sign bonus as well as access to our private Discord. All you got to do is click that link, and after you sign up, you go further down in the description box and we have a Discord link. You click that. And you can even actually just click our Discord link and sign up to Blowfin through that as well. So whatever you want to do. But they're all affiliate links down below, so that helps support this channel. There's a lot of lucrative bonuses for you guys, and you get access to the private Discord. So feel free to check them all out. Now, let's talk about being patient. Let's talk about being patient in the crypto cycle. And if you have patience, you have time, why this is such a good investment vehicle, okay? Let's talk about the 4-year cycle. Let's say that the 4-year cycle still exists, and October 6th was the all-time high for this cycle, and now we are looking at about 360 days, 350 days-ish of sell pressure of a bear market. Guys, let me first preface, I buy Bitcoin every single day, okay? And we've hit some of my levels where I've started to buy some chunks because I want more Bitcoin. I want to buy when it's 30%. 40% below the all-time high. Right now we're at about 30% or so. Let's measure, actually. I believe so we're getting kind of a bounce right now, but I believe we're at like probably 28 right now, maybe a little bit lower. We wicked down all the way to 36. And we're about 31 right now. So in that, around 31%, like that is a area of interest for me to be buying, but I'm not ready to be buying like significant size. I'm not ready to do that until I have confirmation that the 4-year cycle is definitely broken or it's not broken. And I do believe right now, as of right now, the 4-year cycle is definitely intact, and I do believe that we probably do have measuring about 344 days left of a bear market, which means more sell pressure. And I do think that means that 51,000 and dare I even say 45,000 are on the table for some real bear market capitulation, time capitulation events, you know, like when things get really bad, like if we do something like this, we get these, then we just get really tight, then wham, like that's time capitulation. And then that's really when you start, where you really want to be buying, because that usually heads back up. We've seen that happen in 2017, and we saw that happen with the FTX collapse back in 2022, was it, when we saw the bottom? Yeah, November 2022. Yeah. So those are the times where you want to like just be like, I'm all in, back the truck up. But if you have the commodity of time and you are buying a true hedge against inflation, and really one of the only assets, in my opinion, that protects yourself from money printing, the Federal Reserve, debasement of the dollar, right? I think that this is a fantastic asymmetrical bet. We see these hedge funds, we see governments buying, and yes, were they shilling the absolute heck out of it to the boomers and the older generations, selling them the top? Yeah, definitely, but that doesn't mean, I will say, once you see them start talking bad about it, that's when you should probably be nibbling and buying. And guys, I'm dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin because I am trying to hold Bitcoin for not my children, not my grandchildren, but my great-grandchildren. And I think that it will be a great generator of wealth. And I think that it may be just one of the only last ways for people to, quote-unquote, gamble their way out of poverty. Because I think with where AI is going and where the world is going, it's going to become much more difficult to actually combat some of this, dare I say, gap in financial classes, from the lower class to the upper class to the elite. I think that gap is just going to get larger and larger, and Bitcoin, in my opinion, is one of the only answers. Now, not financial advice, guys. I'm just telling you guys how I'm viewing this market and how I'm navigating it, where I'm putting my money, and I put my money where my mouth. As you guys see, I'm shorting altcoins right now, trying to accumulate more profit so I can buy more Bitcoin. I expect a bounce coming. I'm looking to short unless my invalidations get met, probably like around... like at this point, I would need to see closures over 116,000, which is a crazy bounce. And is it possible? Sure. But this has been my most profitable cycle. And I'm not trying to be a hero. And, if that does occur, I've still been DCAing Bitcoin in case of the so-called super cycle, the myth. And I position myself accordingly. So go down, I make profit from shorting alts. Go up, it's okay because I have Bitcoin. It's as simple as that. But that's all I got, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. Check out Blowfin down below. Sign up, get access to our private Discord. Come say hi to Kip and I. I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.